Accelerated Math 6-7 students, we are now starting our 8th video of Module 3. So, Module 3, Lesson 8 is the relationship between absolute value and order. Again, I'm sorry. The relationship between absolute value and order. And we find that on page 60 of my comp book. So, here that is, right here. The relationship between absolute value and order. Why can't I get that centered? Okay, there we go. We'll move over. All right, so that's our title. Our goal for today is, today we will practice putting rational numbers in order according to their absolute values. So we're going back to order, using that number line to help us, and then also involving our absolute values because that helps clarify the distance from 0. Okay, so the question that I want you to think about is, what have you noticed about the order of numbers and their absolute value order? It's kind of interesting. We'll take a look at that. Okay, so the first thing that I want you to do is we're going to try it because you know how to find all of these things on a number line and put them in order. And we know how to find the absolute value of all of these things and then put them in the number line in order. So let's take a look at it, okay? So the first thing that I want you to do is, it says check these out. We have -7, -15, -1, -11, 4, 19, 9, and 17. And your first direction says, put these rational numbers in order from least to greatest. Okay, so again, we talked about this in our previous lessons, that one of the tools that I use to help us do this is our number line. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to get them on the number line. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's -7. Then I have -15, so 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Here's -15. Then I have -1, which happens to sit right next to 0. Then I have -11, so 8, 9, 10, 11. It happens to be right here. So I'm going to put a dot on all of these because that's how we graph all of them, is by putting a dot where they belong. All right, now I have 4, so 1, 2, 3, 4 is sitting right here. Then I have 19, so 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. So 19 sits, 19 sits right there. Then I have 9, so 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 is right there. And then 17, so we have 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 sits right there. All right, so now I have them all graphed on the number line. So what I'm going to do, because it says put these rational numbers in order from least to greatest, is I'm going to look at my number line and go, well, least is right there. So I have -15. My next one was -11. My next one was -7. My next one was -1. My next one was 4. My next one was 9. My next one was 17. And my last one was 19. Okay. So all of the rational numbers have been put in order from least to greatest. Next step. Next step says, now take the absolute value of each rational number. So I'm going to take the absolute value of this, 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 absolute value of this, absolute value of this, absolute value of this. Okay. So the absolute value of -15 is 15 because it's 15 hops to the left of 0. The absolute value of -11 is 11. It is 11 hops away from 0. The absolute value of -7 is 7. It is the to the left 7 hops. The absolute value of -1 is 1 because it is 1 hop to the left. The absolute value of 4 is 4 because it's 4 hops to the right. The absolute value of 9 is 9 because it's 9 hops to the right. The absolute value of 17 is 17 because it's 17 hops to the right. The absolute value of 19 is 19 because it's 19 hops to the right. Okay, weird. So now it says put the absolute values in order from least to greatest. Okay, so here we go. Our number line is going to look a lot different this time, okay? So let's say 0 is here. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. So 19 is there. Says go to 15. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So 15 is here. So here's 19, here's 15, 11, so that would be 14, 13, 12, 11 sits right there. 7, so 10, 9, 8, 7 sits right there. 1 is right here. 4, 2, 3, 4 is right here. 9 is right here. And 17 is right here. So if we're comparing what they look like, all of the numbers, once you've taken the absolute value of them, all of them sit to the right of 0. And that's because all distances are positive. Okay? So let's go back, and it says put the absolute values in order from least to greatest. So from least to greatest this time would be 1. Actually, let's do this. 1, 4, 7, 9, 11, 15, 17, 19. Now, that's the absolute value order. So I'm going to put absolute value order. ABVO, absolute value order. I'm going to put the rational number order, which was what we had originally, above it. So we have negative 15, negative 11, negative 7, negative 1, 4, 9, 17, and 19. So the last thing that it asks us to do, because our goal for today was we will practice putting rational numbers in order according to their absolute values. What do you notice about the order of the numbers and their absolute value order? What do we notice? What do we notice? This was when they were just the numbers themselves. This is when they had their absolute value order figured out. So, what could we say about the biggest difference between those two? Well, the order of the rational numbers, it shows that there can be smallest numbers that are negative up to biggest numbers that are positive, whereas absolute value order, there are no negatives. No negatives at all. But our ending amount is still the same because that's the number with the greatest value and the greatest absolute value. So those are the same. Second greatest value, second greatest absolute value. Okay, those are the same. So that's kind of interesting. And then it starts to change because negative 15 is actually the smallest for the real numbers, but it's the third largest for the absolute value. Okay? So what we can say is, what is the relationship between absolute value and order is that if it's absolute value, there will be no negative values at all. But if it's just regular rational number orders, you can have negatives and positives listed all together. Okay? So I'm hoping that that makes sense to you. I'm hoping that that was fun and you could figure out how to do it. And that's all we have for today's lesson. All right, my dears, I will see you tomorrow. Bye.